Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. So first, allow me to introduce myself. I am Nokheria Ahmad from BS Ed 2A, and this subject is structure of English, and to my instructor, Ma'am Sofia Moson Abdullah. Good day everyone, and especially to you, Ma'am. And again, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. Today, I would be discussing the chapter 7, which is the continuation of report of Mr. Marowa Sukur, the tense and aspect system. So here are our learning outcomes. So at the end of the lesson, the learners will be able to A. Understand and identify the perfect and progressive aspect in English. Letter B. Differentiate between present progressive, the past progressive, and the future progressive. And the last one, letter C, is apply those aspects and tenses correctly in speaking and writing. Let's proceed to the perfect aspect. The core meaning of the perfect is prior, and it is used in relation to some other point in time. So meaning when we talk about the perfect is prior. So means nauna or past time na siya. And it is used in relation to some other point in time. For instance, present perfect is used retrospectively to refer to a time prior to now. So means nagre-refer siya to a time na naganap na or nauna na, or the past time na siya to the time na up until now. So here our example. Have you done your homework? So the past perfect offers a retrospective point of view on some past time. So past time na siya. So the other example naman is he had left before I arrived. So the future perfect offers a retrospective point of view on some future time. So next, we examine in the detailed the combination of the perfect with the three tenses to see how this core meaning obtains. So we have here the three tenses of the perfect aspect. So we have here the present perfect, the past perfect, and the future perfect. So present perfect is a situation that began at a prior point in time and continues into the present. So meaning it is the past time until or up until now or up until into the present. So for instance, I have been a teacher since 1967. So he or she is a teacher since 1967, continues now or up until now is siya ay teacher. So letter B, an action occurring or not occurring at an unspecified prior time and that has current relevance. So for instance, I have already seen that movie. And let's proceed to the past perfect. So when we talk about the past is nangyari na siya or the um, past time na siya. So an action completed in the past prior to some other past event or time. So for instance, he had already left before I could offer him a ride. So she had worked at the post office before 1962. So letter B, imaginative conditional in the subordinate clause or referring to the past time. So if Sally had studied harder, she would have passed the exam. So referring siya to the past time. So let's proceed now sa future perfect. So a future action that will be completed prior to a specific future time. So future action siya that will be completed to the prior to a specific future time. So for instance, I will have finished all this word processing by the 5 p.m. So a state or accomplishment that will be completed in the future prior to some other future time or event. So for instance, at the end of the at the end of the summer, the Blakes will have been married for 10 years. Now let's move on to the perfect aspect and let's proceed to the progressive aspect. So the core meaning of progressive aspect is being imperfective, meaning that it portrays an event in a way that allows for it to be incomplete or somehow limited. So progressive aspect is for action that are not continuous but not completed. So means it is incomplete or somehow limited. So you saw how this core meaning was manifest in the contrast between an event of a temporary nature. So for example, Susan and Carl are living in Newark. So in contrast with an ongoing state. So Susan and Carl live in Newark. Another difference is that while the simple tenses can be used to make generic statement. Another example is weeds grow like wildfire, and progressive aspect is always specific, and weeds are growing like wildfire in my garden. So here are uses of the tense progressive combinations. So you can see how the core meaning of the progressive holds for all the tenses. So we have here the three tenses of the progressive aspect. So we have here the present progressive, or what we call that sometimes called present continuous, and then the past progressive and the future progressive. So present progressive, or sometimes that we call that is present continuous, is a activity in progress. So when we talk about the progress, is it has stated and in still continuing. So like for example, he is attending a meeting now. So he is attending a meeting now. So letter B, extended present action will end and therefore lacks the permanence of the simple present tense. So for example, I'm studying geology at the University of Colorado. And then let's proceed to the past progressive. Past progressive, an action in progress in a specific point of time in the past. So the form of the past progressive is to follow the subject verb with was or were, and the present participle the ing form of the main verb. So kapag nakita natin yung subject verb na was or were, so it is specific point of time in the past. So like for example, he was walking to school at 8:30 this morning. So nangyari na siya kasi he was walking to school at 8:30 this morning. So naging past time na siya. And then letter B, past action simultaneous with some other event that is usually stated in the simple past. So like for example, Karen was washing her hair when the phone rang. So meron ditong word na was. And then let's proceed to the last tenses of the progressive aspect, which is the future progressive. So an action that will be in progress at a specific time in the future. So specific time in the future naman dito sa future progressive. So like for example, he will be taking a test at 8 a.m. tomorrow, and that will be duration of some specific future action. So for instance, Mavis will be working on her thesis for the next 3 years. And now let's proceed to the perfect progressive aspect. So, as its name implies, this aspect combines the sense of prior of the perfect with the meaning of incompleteness inherent in the progressive aspect. So, the perfect aspects and the progressive aspect is nag-combine na siya into the prior to the incompleteness. So like for example, he has been working hard on a special project. So we understand that the event being reported here was begun prior to now, and that his hard work is limited. That is, it will not continue indefinitely. So next we examine how these two core meanings work in tandem for each of the tenses. And as you can see, we have here the three tenses also of the perfect progressive aspect. So we have here the present perfect progressive, the past perfect progressive, and the future perfect progressive. So present perfect progressive, a situation or habit that began in the past, recent, or distant, and that continues up to the present and possibly into the future. So for example, Bert has been going out with Alice. B, an action in progress what is not yet completed. So for example, I have been reading that book. So now let's proceed naman sa past perfect progressive, an action or habit taking place over a period of time in the past prior to some other past event or time. So for example, Carol had been working hard, so her doctor told her to take a vacation. She had been trying to finish her degree that year. So letter B, an ongoing past action or state that becomes satisfied by some other event. So for example, I had been wanting to see that play, so I was pleased when I won the tickets. And lastly, let's proceed to the future perfect progressive. So durative or habitual action that is taking place in the present and that will continue into the future up until or through a specific future time. So for example, on Christmas Eve, we will have been living in the same house for 20 years. So he will have been keeping a journal for 10 years next month. We can sum up our observations so far concerning the core meanings of the English tense aspect system with this diagram. So we have here the past, present, and future. So sa past, whisper tayong prior and complete. So the past and prior is past perfect na siya. And then sa past incomplete event is subject to change or past progressive. So the past to complete is event is conceived of as a whole or remoteness. So naging simple past na siya. So sa present naman is the prior is to present perfect. So incomplete with the present progressive and to complete immediate or factuality is simple present. And then sa future is the prior to future perfect and to future to incomplete to future progressive and to future to complete or strong prediction to simple future. And now let's proceed to the last topic of my report, which is the lexical aspect of verbs. So as you saw in chapter 3, verbs have not only grammatical aspect but lexical aspect as well. So verbs can be divided into four categories based on their inherent lexical aspect by Wendler 1967. So we have here the activity, the accomplishment, the achievement or the punctual, and the state. So in activity, we have here the run, walk, swim, and live. So sa accomplishment naman is we have here the paint a picture, make a chair, build a house, write a novel, and grow up. Next, in achievement or the functional, we have here the recognize something, realize something, lose something, and find something, and then win the race. So, sa state naman, we have here the have, contain, seem, want, and like. That's all for today. Thank you and shukran for watching. Hope you learn in my topic. Shukran. Masalam.